Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Thursday, the 9th of February. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. ZASLOW Show 2.0, always presented by our pals at Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Our title sponsor from day number one. And man, did you wake up to some news today? I woke up this morning. My son was already at school. You know, he's got his phone. He's sneaking it out, obviously, in the middle of class, homeroom, whatever. I think he has prayer first thing in the morning. He goes to a Jewish school. And the first thing he sends out to me is KD to the Suns. So that's what I wake up to this morning. I roll over to my side. I pick up my phone. And the very first thing it says, KD to the Suns. Holy shit. That's how we're going to start the day today, huh? That's the kind of day we're going to have? Okay. All right. I see you. Thursday, February 9th. Now, the NBA trade deadline is this afternoon, 3 p.m. So depending on when you're listening to ZASLOW Show 2.0 today, I don't know exactly where we're going to be at. Have the Heat traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo before, when you're listening to this? And I haven't quite gotten that news yet because you're listening in the future. I don't know, so you'll have to excuse me if that ends up being the situation. So today we're hoping it's going to be a big news day. We're several hours away now from the NBA trade deadline, which is now dominating all of the headlines. The Super Bowl is in 3 days, and the NBA trade deadline is dominating everything. So last night, we had a fun show today, by the way. We're going to talk to our pal, Heat TV color analyst John Crotty is going to join the show. We'll talk about the Heat game last night. Also want to get a player perspective on what today's like NBA trade deadline. We're also going to talk to SiriusXM NBA Radio's Brian Geltzeiler. He will join ZASLOW Show 2.0 for the very first time. He will make his debut. And we'll talk some NBA trade deadline with him. He and our pal Evan Cohen, 2 to 4 p.m. today on SiriusXM NBA Radio, are doing a draft preview show. Well, not preview. They're doing an NBA trade deadline, a draft preview. They're doing an NBA trade deadline show. We did like a Miami Heat NBA trade deadline kind of preview a couple days ago here on ZASLOW Show 2.0 with Evan Cohen. Well, Brian Geltzeiler's hosting with him today on SiriusXM NBA Radio, 2 to 4 p.m., and Brian will join us today. So we'll get him coming up, and we'll do all that good stuff. But last night, the Heat get a win, and we'll get to that. Like I said, we're going to talk to Crotty. The Heat, I thought it was a good win. 116-111. The Heat are now 30-25. They're trying to get some separation from that number 7 spot. I know the Knicks fan is all super excited about acquiring big-time difference maker Josh Hart. Hopefully the Heat can wind up staving off the Knicks for that number 6 spot in the Eastern Conference right now. The Heat are a couple games back of Cleveland and Brooklyn. So we're going to get to Brooklyn. But first, the first move that was made last night, let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. So Lakers, Wolves, Jazz. The Lakers receive Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, and Jared Vanderbilt. Utah receives Russell Westbrook and a first-round pick. That Lakers 2027 first-round pick. Minnesota gets Mike Conley. So that's a huge trade last night. Finally, after, it's been talked about for like a year, Russell Westbrook, his time in Los Angeles is done. Westbrook will probably be bought out in Utah. And that leads us to today's ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll question. So I put this out last night. ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll question. Go to @ZASLOW Show on Twitter. You could also hit me up @ZASLOWJ on Instagram. I'm an influencer, but I love talking to you guys. But hit me up on Twitter @ZASLOW Show. And today's ZASLOW Show poll question. All right, here we go. If Russell Westbrook is bought out in Utah, likely, are you interested in the Heat picking him up? Now, I'm not going to sit here and give you the reasons for, the reasons against. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he can't shoot, and the Heat's big Achilles heel right now is their three-point shooting, which stunk again last night. We suck from three. And certainly Westbrook doesn't help that. But so look at the answers. If Russell Westbrook is bought out in Utah, are you interested in the Heat picking him up? All right. And your answers are yes, shake it up. Hell no, he sucks. So it just goes to show you, like, the reason you would want to pick him up is, let's just shake things up. Shake it up a little bit, you know? So, yes, shake it up, or hell no, he sucks. And right now, the leader, we got several hundred votes. Right now, the leader is with 52% of the votes. It's close. 52% of the vote is saying, hell no, he sucks. So, most, not by much, but most of the ZASLOW Show 2.0 listener is not interested in the Heat acquiring Russell Westbrook if he is, in fact, bought out, which I think you would expect, because Utah is only interested in collecting the draft picks, and they got that 2027 draft pick from the Lakers. So there you have it. Now, you also have some other trades last night. Josh Hart was traded from Portland to New York. All right, let's get crazy, okay? You had Jakob Poeltl, who was traded back to the Toronto Raptors. Okay, but the big trade, one of the biggest trades in the history of the NBA, yeah, that's right, happened in the middle of the night. Most of us did not see it until we woke up this morning. The Brooklyn Nets have traded Kevin Durant. So what wound up happening over these last few days since the Kyrie Irving trade, you did have Durant behind the scenes telling the Net, and he was doing it the right way. He wasn't being a pain in the ass about it. Going behind the scenes saying, look, I think it's time we move on. That's my guess. Or maybe the owner, Joe Tsai, was like, I'm effing tired of this team. I'm tired of these guys. It's time for me to take back my franchise, trade Durant, get the best offer possible. That may have been the case too. I thought Durant was going to stick it out there this year. So maybe it was totally the owner's call, and he's like, screw it. Let's send him to where he wants to go. Get the best deal you can from Phoenix. Well, the Nets trade Kevin Durant and TJ Warren to the Suns for Mikal Bridges, really good player, great defender as well. Cam Johnson, good bench, really pretty good bench player. Jay Crowder, who's been sitting out the whole year, nobody really knows why. And 4 first-round picks, 23, 25, 27, 29. 4 first-round picks. I believe they're unprotected. But, you know, the unprotected part, like, Durant's got either 2 or 3 more years left on his contract. You know, the 23 and the 25 picks are not going to be good. Who knows? Maybe the 27 and the 29 will. The 23 and the 25 are not going to be good picks. But anyway, 4 first-round picks they got. The Suns are going to be awesome. Apparently, the Nets are still a team to keep an eye on today. They may still be making moves. The Suns are going to be awesome. It's going to work because Durant is better when he's not the guy. When Durant's not the guy, he's at his best. Durant in Golden State joined a team that was already awesome. He's not the guy. They win championships. Durant's the main guy in Brooklyn. What do? 1 playoff series win. He's not a leader. If he was a leader, he would have gotten Kyrie Irving in line at some point. And now he's going to go to the Phoenix Suns, who are an already established team, who were in the finals just a couple of years ago, and he's being added to a really good core of Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. So how about that? In the offseason, it looked like you would have to trade Ayton to get Durant. Now they keep Ayton. Home run for the Phoenix Suns. Durant's better when he's not the guy. And I don't know how you look at it now. Like, I know Denver is still up there at the top. Memphis, you know, Josh said he's not worried about the West. Oh, okay. I don't know how you don't look at it now and without any doubt say that the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the Western Conference. Now, I don't normally say things like that because it's sort of like, can we see it play out? Can we watch it play a game before we get crazy about it? It's Kevin Durant we're talking about. All-time great player, and that's one of the all-time biggest trades in the history of the league that took place last night. How about the last 2 nights for the NBA? 2 nights ago, LeBron James becomes the all-time leading scorer. Really fun night in the association. Last night, trades galore. And this is Super Bowl week. The last 2 nights, the NBA is dominating the headlines from the NFL. Good. Take that, NFL. Get out of the way. NFL does whatever they want. They're the king. The NBA's the king the last couple of days. And guess what? During Super Bowl week, the NBA's the king. I love it. I love to see it. So, really huge night the last couple nights as far as the NBA goes. A lot of fun. The Suns and Lakers, big winners. I think the Lakers are vastly improved. Now, I don't think the Lakers exactly added like a bunch of winning players, but D'Angelo Russell is going to help them. He's another scorer. Malik Beasley's a scorer as well. He'll come off the bench most likely. And Jared Vanderbilt's a nice little young player. You got to do a win-now move for LeBron. The Western Conference is wide open. I mean, the Lakers are on the outside looking in right now, but you look at the standings as of today in the Western Conference. Give me a moment here. I want to pull it up for the sake of accuracy. So the Lakers right now, yeah, they're 13th in the West, which is shit, but they are 3 games back of number 6. And now, and they just got better. They get better by a ton. I think they did. I think they got a lot better. I think it's, and I'm not so big on D'Angelo Russell. Like I told you, I don't think the Heat were going to make that trade because I don't think he's a Heat kind of guy. But Malik Beasley can score. Jared Vanderbilt's a good role player. They added Hachimura a couple weeks ago. Lakers did well. And then you got, of course, the major trade deadline winner. Really, no matter what happens today, of course, is the Phoenix Suns. I mean, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Kevin Durant. That's a monster 4 guys right there. Now, let's pivot here. Obviously, we're going to do a lot of Heat trade stuff, I promise, all right? We're keeping an eye on what's going on with the Heat. Kyle Lowry, he sat out last night. He's sitting out tomorrow night as well. And then I guess over the week, is it Sunday? I think Saturday or Sunday, then they have Milwaukee at home as well. Is he sitting out? Is there truth, you think, to what we were told yesterday? Our pal Israel Gutierrez thinks it's quite possible that Kyle Lowry, then he ain't so bad. He's sitting out right now to prevent the Heat from trading him. Is that possible? That's really aggravating if that's the case. I think it's totally possible. I wouldn't put it past this guy. He's been awful. So he's been awful, and now do you think he's going to be awful off the court as well, preventing the Heat from being able to trade him? Would that be such a stretch? No, I don't think that would be such a stretch. Really aggravating, the Kyle Lowry situation. I do not believe the Heat are going to be able to trade Kyle Lowry today. I mean, look, the big questions, are the Heat going to pull something off? And it's looking like a no. You see everybody out there making moves. All the teams that have been mentioned over the last week are out there making moves. And the Heat are sitting around doing nothing. Now, I don't think the Heat are sitting around doing nothing, but that's what the Heat fan is saying. The Heat are sitting around doing nothing. It's looking like the Heat are not going to be able to pull anything off. All the teams that need a point guard, teams like the Lakers, teams like Minnesota, even teams like the Clippers, who apparently are going to wait on the Russell Westbrook situation, and they would like to acquire him via buyout. All the teams that need point guards, e.g. Kyle Lowry. All the NBA shows I'm watching, all the NBA shows I'm listening to, none of them are mentioning Kyle Lowry. None of them. He doesn't exist, like he's not on the radar of any of these shows because nobody wants him. He stinks. When talking about all the point guards on the move and all the potential point guards on the move, nobody mentions Kyle Lowry because no one wants him. He's not going anywhere, unfortunately. And Heat fans are going to be mad when the Heat do nothing. We'll circle back to that. Back to the big NBA trades yesterday, the whole huge NBA trade landscape. Look at the Brooklyn Nets now. I'm so over this player empowerment garbage. You can't just give everything. You can't hand the keys over to the franchise, to the players. They're players. They're not general managers. They're not owners. They don't run the team. The Brooklyn Nets handed over everything to those players. They fired the original coach, Kenny Atkinson. They hired the guy they wanted, Steve Nash. They fired the guy they wanted, fired Steve Nash. They traded away players like Jared Allen, like Karis LeVert, who they wanted out, to bring in guys like DeAndre Jordan, James Harden. Then James Harden's traded. Look, you're left out with Ben Simmons. This team is a disaster, and they're back at square one from several years ago because they gave those players everything they wanted. And who gets left holding the bag? Who gets left with their you-know-what in their hand? The fans. The fans are the ones who are ultimately screwed. Kevin Durant's not screwed. He got what he wanted. Kyrie Irving's not screwed. He got what he wanted. The Brooklyn Nets are back to being a shit show now. They're going to stink. This player empowerment, that team gave everything that Durant and Irving wanted. And what are they left with? Nothing. The fans are left holding the bag. The fans are the ones that now deal with the repercussions because you gave in to these players. It's enough of the player empowerment bullshit. Most of these guys are not professional enough. They don't show up. They want to sit out games. They want to rest. They want to sit out back-to-backs. Back-to-backs are inhumane. The NBA player is always complaining. If he's not complaining, he's sitting out games. It's enough of this shit. The fan is the one who ends up hurt. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, gimme. The Nets gave them everything. They still want it out. The fans are the ones who are left with their you-know-what in their hand. Stop giving in to everything these players want. If the players want to be empowered, if they want to get what they want, if they want to run the teams, go buy a team. Go buy one. Go buy a team. Go start your own league. You're not the owner. You're a player. You have a contract. You signed it. Show up. Be professional. Play. It's enough of this player empowerment garbage. I'm over it. I'm over it. Got to stop allowing it. If the players want to be in control, go buy a team. I mean, I feel bad. Look, the Brooklyn Nets they're a nothing franchise. But, I feel bad for the Nets fan. What do they deserve? They didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve any of this. And Kyrie Irving last night, after the Mavericks game, he made his debut last night with the Mavericks. Kyrie, every chance he gets now, he's sticking it to the Nets, talking shit about them. It's fine, whatever. Kyrie said last night, after his first year in Brooklyn, he knew he may not want to be there anymore. This guy, for one, is a liar. He constantly lies. Wanted to be in Boston forever, wanted to stay in Boston, he left. Said he would never leave his guy number 7, that's Durant, he left. Said he wanted to stay in Brooklyn for however long, wanted out. When the team was winning, after a stretch they went 18-2. Dude is a huge liar. And you all know, don't even let me I'm not even going to get to the apology, okay? He deletes the apology on Instagram to the Jewish people right after he was traded, if that's not a statement. And don't give me a Kyrie trying to pull the whole, I have family members and friends who are Jewish. It's the same thing as saying I have black friends. It's the exact same thing. I can't be an anti-Semite. I have family and friends who are Jewish. It's the same thing as someone calling you racist. You say you can't be racist. You have black friends. It's the exact same thing. He's a piece of shit, that Kyrie Irving. But here's the thing. Kyrie, he knew Brooklyn wasn't for him long-term after the first year. He's so full of shit. He's such a huge liar. His first year in Brooklyn, Durant didn't even play. Durant was hurt the whole year. He sat out the whole year. So he convinced Durant to come to Brooklyn, and he knew after his first year in Brooklyn he didn't want to be there anymore. Before even playing with Durant, he's a liar. He is a liar, Kyrie Irving. But if you knew you didn't want to be there, why didn't you opt out? Could have opted out this summer. Two reasons. Two reasons why he didn't opt out this summer. Number one, money. He could have went to the Lakers, which is the team he wants to go to. He was not willing to give up $33 million. $39 million is what the Nets were paying him. He would only been able to sign with the Lakers for $6 million. He was not willing to give up the money to go be where he wanted to be. It's always about money with him. That's the first reason he didn't opt out. The second reason, no one wanted him. No one wanted him. Look at what every other big-name player has fetched in return this year. Mitchell, Durant, massive haul of draft picks. Kyrie Irving, 1 first-round pick in 2029. No one wanted him. That's why he didn't leave. No one wanted him, and he wasn't willing to give up the money. He's a liar and a phony. Taking shots at the Nets every chance he gets. Hey, listen, Nets, you kind of get what you deserve in that spot. Bringing in that guy thinking it's going to work and allowing both of those guys to do whatever they want. Look, Durant and mostly Kyrie shoulder a lot of blame. The Nets get some blame too. There's no doubt about it. The Nets get some blame too. Massive night in the NBA. Massive couple nights in the NBA. Wild. All right, we got a lot of Heat stuff